Did you stretch?
We'll say yes. Sure.
Okay.
That's
Levels.
levels.
So, do you have a plan for the cold open this week?
I get this. I have a concept for a plan.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Friends, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm all right.
You know
How are
what?
you?
Some weeks we'll take that. Yes. I will say this. As much of the challenges as you may have been facing this week, you had a significantly better week than certain people running for president. And that's all we're going to say.
And let's just, you know what, Chuck Todd, we're going to leave it there.
There we go.
We are going to leave it there. We don't have time for, you know what? We don't have time for the other podcast this week.
No.
Lots of people have covered that stuff. So,
on the other hand, I do want to announce, and this is a surprise to Dewayne, we are going to be launching the other podcast where we cover how much we like dogs. Nope. Sorry. No.
no.
We're not doing that. No. Sorry.
How do you like them? How do you like your dog? Is that like how do you like your ducks? No, duck. How do you like your duck?
I was so annoyed. I was so mad.
you could tell it just came through. I mean, it's neither a correction nor is it follow up, but it is feedback. As we got to the end, Amy is just shaking her head. We're in the truck listening, and Amy is just shaking her head as you delineate the difference between duck and ducks and how you missed the joke last week at the end. That was.
Break down the joke. So this is how you diagram it, and this is where it's funny, and this is where it's not funny. And I can't believe you just anyway.
This is you can see in the joke as you're diagramming where it got lost.
Yep.
Where that was the yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You can see where the train jumped the tracks right there. Oh, is this our only trains podcast?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's. I was gonna make a bad pun, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm trying something new this week. Not really, because you're the one that usually has most of the bad pun. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
237 in. Why? Feedback from toddler number 1.
Yes.
As much of a request as anything.
Okay.
While she appreciates you sharing how to watch America's Cup.
Yes.
Based on your descriptions, all she really wants is a YouTube mashup supercut of all of the crashes, because that's all she cares about. Is that available?
Yes, if you search for America's Cup crashes or demasting or capsizing, yes, those already exist.
Oh, fantastic.
It's like the red zone, but for sailing.
That's what, because that's why we watch NASCAR as well, honestly, right? I mean, I'm just in it for the disaster.
Well, that and the passing, because you might as well watch some racing sport that has passing. That is completely sanctioned by the team and will not be, wait, was there a pass? Did we sanction that? You're too fast. Please slow down to let our other slower driver get more points. Anyway, never mind. Moving on. Different thing.
That was the only real feedback I had from toddler number 1.
Yeah. I don't think I've got anything from Lisa.
Okay. Toddler 401k also had America's Cup feedback.
Yeah, he did. I believe he said America's Cup is sailing. I think he got 50 minutes into the podcast before he realized, which at that point, I think he said, oh, those jokes at the beginning make a lot more sense now.
Uh-huh. Well, I texted him a meme
Yes.
that was
Oh,
a
yeah.
a a a a buoy,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
A boy
Yeah.
floating. What color
Yeah.
was it, Todd?
It was white. Yeah.
Yep. And it said, "Play that funky music."
Yes. By the
White
way,
boy.
yes, I showed that to Lisa.
Yes.
She goes, I don't get it. And then I explained it to her. And she said, I was better when I didn't know.
And now she's had to experience that joke twice, once off the podcast and once on.
Yeah. She's going to be super happy about that. Okay.
Play that funky music. How about, we talked about our Only Trains pod. We
Yes.
talked about the other podcast pod.
Yeah.
What other pods do we have going on here?
That I've lost count. I don't. What
Okay.
else do we
Because
have?
there's a note here that says Lindsay Moore pods. Was that just left over from last week and I
Oh no,
forgot
that
to
was
clean
just
it up?
leftover. That was just left over from last
Oh,
week. I think
okay.
that's just sort of permanent ones now. That's not net new. No.
Lindsay just wants us to do something other than what we're doing. Okay, I get
Yes.
it. Let
Yeah.
me edit that, fix that. Okay, we'll see whether or not that little conversation stays in the pod. I did have a couple.
Actually,
For starters, you know you wrote a letter to Buzz Aldrin
Yes.
at the end of last week's show.
I did. I did. Yes.
Just to be clear,
Yes.
the Buzz Aldrin and Jimmy Russell comparison, it was a meeting your icon comparison. I was not comparing distilling bourbon to going to the moon. It was
Yeah, I
a
don't think.
meeting your icon
Uh-huh.
comparison.
Yeah, I don't think Buzz cares. Don't answer the door.
He will punch anyone.
Yeah.
It's kind of his thing.
Yeah. So I mean that's a subtlety that I don't think matters at this point because the letter was sent.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay. The other,
actually,
you said last week that they were going to run the swimming events.
Yes.
You want another shot at that one?
Nope. I stand by everything that I said. What I said, what's in the podcast is in the podcast.
There are.
I'm telling you, that's how much poo is in the send. They can run the swimming events. You just run. It's bad.
Just run right over the top of the. Wow.
It's bad.
It's crusty. Okay. I know there was some Apple announcements. Todd's Tech Corner, as sponsored by Dr. Jesse and the Taylor Center for Apple Technology. No, just technology.
Just technology. Yeah.
In 50 words or less, I have an iPhone 14.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it to jump to the 16 for all of the Apple AI stuff?
No.
For any other reason?
Cameras.
Cameras I got's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you saving us money. Thank you. Appreciate you. Had a way. That was definitely in 50 words or less. No. Okay.
And now that the 50 words or less is over, I can now expand on my previous comments. Nope, that's not a thing. No.
No, that is. I did not ask for more.
I would not.
And yet here we are.
I would not buy an Apple phone for Apple Intelligence, considering that Apple Intelligence is going to be slowly rolled out over the course of the next year. Never buy a piece of hardware with the promise of a software improvement down the road.
We don't. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So they're going to launch these phones, and everything about Apple Intelligence, nothing is going to be available on launch day. A few things will be available in October. Most of it will be available, quote unquote, next year. Not worth buying right now for that.
So they have a concept of Apple AI?
They have plans. No, they have plans.
It's more developed than that.
I mean, they have demos and everything. So,
that's way more than. Thank God.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of that, though, all the softwares will be dropping Monday. So for your existing phone, iOS 18, for the Mac, the new Mac OS, the iPod OS, the TV OS, the Watch OS, everything drops Monday to upgrade to if you decide you want to.
My watch is of a certain vintage that it will not take the update.
Mm,
My typical rule is when the device can no longer get the latest update, it's time to retire the device.
okay.
If for no other reason slash excuse slash explanation to my loving wife than security in
Mm,
big air quotes.
yeah, yeah. Got to get a new one. Security.
When it stops getting security updates, then it is absolutely time to do something different. Um, will that make my watch last longer when I use it as a golf watch on the course? I do believe it will. Latent benefit. Okay. Nice little dip into Tech Corner there. Fantastic. Should we move on to what we lovingly call?
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Oh crap! It's my week. Okay, that's right. That sound means it's time for America's favorite game. Dwayne, guess a number. Okay, hit me.
All right, NFL season has started. This is not about that, however.
Oh, you're just. Iceland is in the North Atlantic. Its capital city is Reykjavik. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Just okay.
All right. There has been every year a group does a study of how much does it cost to buy a beer and a hot dog at all 30 stadiums in the NFL. Okay?
Okay.
So, there's a few of these questions. I got a couple here. Dewayne, this is a two-parter. We'll start because this Dewayne guess a number. Start with this. What is the cheapest cost, the least expensive cost that you can get a hot dog and a beer at an NFL stadium? And then can you tell me which stadium or city or team that you can get that at?
I'm going to guess $10.
Okay. Do you want to take a guess where?
Detroit.
Okay. Totally wrong on both counts.
Oh,
It is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
okay.
Combined price, $7.49.
Damn.
The
I was
beer,
like $3 for a hot dog and $7 for a beer.
the beer is $5.49 and $2 for the hot dog.
Wow. No, I don't deserve a bell for that. I was off by 30%. No.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So, all right, let's go the other direction. The most expensive price and where?
$31 at the San Francisco slash wherever the hell the stadium actually is, because it's not somewhere between San Francisco and San Jose 49ers.
You're incorrect on both. You're way off on the number, closer on the location. The most expensive combo that you can get for hot dog and a beer is $19.98. That breaks down to the beer is $11.49. And it's $8.49 for the hot dog. $8.50 for the dog. And that is in Seattle at Lumen Field.
Well, I can tell you that the entry level hot dog and beer.
I believe this I'm looking here. It wasn't clear it looks, I'm assuming it's the lowest combo price. So it's the lowest
Okay.
beer, lowest dog that you can. Hot dog,
Be-
by the way, just from earlier, we're talking hot dogs. We're eating hot dogs at the stadium. Just want to make that clear. Please continue.
They're eating dogs. No, no. Um, I'll cover this a little later, but I was at Soldier Field on Sunday.
Oh yes, I'm. Oh no, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you because you were there,
Oh,
and so I'm going to
okay.
ask
Yes.
you how much. How much does it cost for the cheapest dog and beer at Soldier Field?
I have a receipt in my pocket. Hold on. Maybe it's on my phone. Is it on my phone? It might be on my phone. Hold on. Hold on. $21.70.
So this article says, and now I'm questioning whether tax is included in this or not. What this one said is the cheapest you can get at Soldier Field is $19 total, $11 for the beer and $8 for the hot dog.
Well, I I don't buy the Bush Light. I buy the premium beer, and
Wait,
I bought a brat, not a hot dog. So that would explain the $3 difference because there is a markup for the dog and the premium beer. I think I had Blue Moon. I did not have the Miller Lite. Even though there's the Miller Lite, I could have gone to the Miller Lite Club if I'd have wanted to, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to pay the extra. I also could have had, okay, here's one for you, Todd. There are now
he was not prepared for this, but okay.
there are mixed drinks at Soldier Field that you can
Yes.
go to a special counter and get a mixed drink.
Okay.
Do you know how much a bourbon and soda would cost you at Soldier Field
Let's say.
in a souvenir glass?
Oh
Just to be
crap! Oh crap! And a
not to throw
souvenir.
a wrinkle in there with a souvenir glass.
All right, so I'm just going to tell you this because it's like a mixed drink at a stadium. My initial thought was you're looking at $22 to $24 for the mixed drink. Now you're throwing in a souvenir. You're throwing in a souvenir glass. Oh damn! We'll say 28.
You actually, you know what? It was $22 plus tax.
There we go. There we go.
You were right. The throw me adding on the souvenir cup really threw you off. But
All right.
anything else on your quiz for me?
Yes, just two other things. So the Falcons combo deal, the cheapest one, which is
Yes,
what did we say it was?
ish.
$7.49.
Yeah,
Okay.
plus tip.
The Falcons combo deal is cheaper than a single beer at how many of the NFL stadiums?
So there are 30 stadiums
Well, and by the way, we might
because the Giants
for
and the
reasons
Jets share the
for reasons that will be
Chargers.
for reasons that
Okay.
will become clear here in a second. Just assume that there's 32. Just assume that there's 32 for a reason.
You're kidding me. Is this idiot of the week at the same time?
Just you can give me a number of
Play along.
yeah.
Do 7 18?
You know what? You're pretty close. Their combo is cheaper than a single beer at 22 stadiums. Now,
Okay.
the reason why I said we need to think about these differently, Dewayne, the Jets play at what stadium?
MetLife, the
Yes.
old Meadowlands.
MetLife.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Giants play.
At Giant Stadium at the Meadowlands.
No, actually, they're also in MetLife. They get the money, I think, right?
Okay, MetLife gets the money. Okay, but it's
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
At one point, it was just Giant Stadium, and then the
Yes.
Jets called it something else. So,
Yeah.
but yes, MetLife.
Okay. How much do you think a beer is at MetLife Stadium when the Jets play?
$8.50.
Okay, it is $5.49. It's $5.50.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what? Here's the thing. If you're
I
a
am going to
Jets,
football games at the wrong friggin' stadiums.
no, you're not, because if you had to watch the Jets for 10 or 8 home games, you need a lot of cheap beer to keep people coming back. They got to give them a reason to come there, right? Okay, so MetLife when the Jets play is $5.49. How much does a beer cost at the exact same stadium when the Giants play?
$6.50?
$6.
It's
It
an extra
costs you
50 cents a beer.
it costs you an extra 51 cents a beer to be a Giants fan.
That is a premium. That's a premium beer. Ooh.
My thought is I hope they have actual LCD display boards, and some poor schmuck doesn't have to go and change the price on every board. Anyway, yeah, there you go. You did okay,
Question?
but not great. Yes.
Question.
Yeah.
What are the prices when the Giants play the Jets?
I think it depends on who's the home team.
They don't split the difference?
I would assume it is
Home team
whoever is
revenue.
the home team.
Nice. Okay.
So
And then it looks like you brought another game? Or did I not?
Well,
Did I once again not edit?
no, I don't know that this is a game as much as this is a game. You have no chance of winning, but this is in the with us, not with us. And this is a story. This could have been an Idiots of the Week, but I already had one, and I just wanted to tuck this in here. So it's less of a game, but I'm going to make it a game for you, which is, earlier last week, the Norway's men's soccer team received a visit from the country's anti-doping agency. Okay, and they said, "Here's a list of players that we need to test for doping." Okay? Here's who they needed: Erling Haaland, Jorgen Strand Larsen, Antonio Nusa, Oscar Bob, Einar Gundersen, and Jorgen Uwe. Okay?
All good Norwegian names?
They may not be, but I pronounce them that way. So that just might be George Juvie, but I think it's Jorgen Uwe. Anyway.
George Juvie. Okay.
So Dewayne, with no other knowledge, with us or not with us?
I'm going to say half of those players are no longer with the team, therefore they don't need to pee.
I was willing to give this. Well, you are technically right, but you put in some specificity that I think I'm not going to give you the bell for.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Isn't that always my problem on this?
Yeah. So, Uwe and Gundersen are not with the team. There's another one who's not with the team as well, but Uwe and Gundersen are not with the team. Uwe died in 1983.
In 1983?
Uh-huh. And Einar Gundersen died in 1962. So he will not be providing a urine sample.
Even if he hadn't passed away, I'm not sure that he could make the team. No, wait, hold on a second. How fast can he run the 100?
Faster than 17% of Britain. Nope, that's different.
Nope, that's going to be that other thing.
Yeah, so I bring this because With Us, Not With Us is a game that the Norwegian anti-doping agency is playing with their own people. Hey, where are you getting that list? What the manager of the national team said is he's pretty sure they just printed out the list of leading top goal scorers in Norwegian football history and said, we want to test all of these. Some of them are dead. Well, so when will they be testing? Anyway, everything's fine. Everything's fine in Norway.
Oh, let's do a couple idiots. Can we do a couple idiots?
Sure. What'd you bring?
So you remember in Bull Durham, Kevin Costner's behind the plate, and he looks at the batter and says, "Can you believe this? 2-hit shutout, and he is shaking me off. 2-hit shutout, and he is shaking me up. Charlie, here comes the deuce. And when you speak of me, speak well." Do you remember that happening?
Yes. Yes.
Well, life imitated art this week in single A baseball. Low A. To be clear, there's low A and high A in single A baseball. In low A competition, the Minnesota Twins released former Coastal Carolina catcher and sixth round draft pick Derek Bender after he reportedly told opposing batters which pitches would be thrown during the game. He told multiple hitters on the Flying Tigers, which specific pitch that his pitcher was throwing. And then after the game, coaches for the Flying Tigers informed his coaches about the tips, at which point the Twins cut him loose. This was a playoff deciding game. The Flying Tigers won the outing 6-0, which qualified them for the Florida State League playoffs, and it eliminated the Mighty Muscles, Dunn's team. No, Bender's team. Bender's team was eliminated because he was giving away the pitches. And apparently, he had told teammates that he wanted the season to be over. And that was why he was doing this. He'd spent the previous 2 games in the team's bullpen instead of his typical place in the dugout anyway. So not only was the team's season over, but I believe his career was over as well.
I mean, I'm trying to think of how you spin that on your LinkedIn profile. Great at communication.
Yes, that's
Excellent with collaboration. Knows how to accomplish a goal.
yeah. Well, check all 3 of those boxes.
Yeah, real go-getter there.
Yep. Oh boy. Good work, Derek. My idiot of the week, Derek Bender. How about you?
So from the opening of the Queens Midtown Tunnel in 1940, this is in New York, until 2012 during Hurricane Sandy, that tunnel had never been flooded. Okay, from 1940 to 1912, and then Hurricane Sandy, big problem. So, they even did, in order for that never to happen again, they not only repaired it, but they put these massive swinging doors on either end of the tunnel. So should there be floodwaters again, they can close the tunnels.
Yep.
Good thought, but they didn't think about everything. Last week, a contractor who was doing some work up on the surface was drilling and dropped a drill through 50 feet of water and then started drilling and drilled through 50 feet of rock and went right through the tunnel, punching a 2.5-inch hole into the tunnel, which then caused water to enter the tunnel. Yes. So the MTA had to close the tunnel. They first said it was a water main break because you're thinking, why is it wet in the tunnel? Well, it has to be a water main.
Yeah.
Why is there?
Yeah. Why else would
there must be a water main break? And then you go, there's a hole in the tunnel. There's a horse in the hospital. So they worked fairly quickly to keep the tunnel from completely flooding. They put a temporary plug in place, and they had the tube back open by 5:45, somewhat mitigating rush hour traffic. But let's be honest, probably not really. Anyway, apparently there's a company called Warren George who may need to be checking. So this is why people, I can't stress this enough. Before you start digging anywhere in your yard or apparently in the rivers around New York City, you got to call 811 or whatever and have them. You got to check before you dig. You have no idea what's down there, people. Oh man, this thing's really, that's going through the rock, and I boom, oh, that punched through real easy. Well, break. You want to go grab a hot dog? I hear they're pretty cheap at the Jets place.
You know, when I'm trying to repair something or hang something on the wall, and you go through the drywall and you don't find the stud,
Yes.
I know what that feels like.
Yes.
This guy knows what that feels like by like 10,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I can just spackle over mine and move it over. And generally, the painting or the whatever I'm framing or hanging for Amy, or rehanging for Amy, or rehanging for Amy, can cover up whatever error I may have made.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Yeah.
not so much in his case.
Well, I mean, the good news is he was on the surface and he's just drilling through water. So from his standpoint, he's like, it's all good up here.
Yeah. Man. Have you been watching anything good this week?
So we watched part 1 of a 2-part series on Netflix, Simone Biles Rising, talking about all of the issues that she had around 2020 Olympics and then coming back, and very fascinating. I mean, we haven't watched the second part yet. It is really interesting to get that perspective and to hear her perspective on what happened in 2020, and then having lots of talking heads who have a TV show, or I don't know, maybe a podcast, maybe who do things like Who Are Idiots of the Week, commenting maybe on things that they know nothing about, but are pretty sure that person's an idiot or worse. Something's there. Nope. It's gone.
Nope,
Anyway.
nope.
Yeah. I thought there was something
Got
there.
close to something.
Yeah. Nope. I was right. Nope. It's gone.
Lost your train of thought?
It's not the Only Trains podcast. Stop it. You're not going to take this podcast off the rails. Also then on Tuesday night, speaking of off the rails, we watched the debate.
Oh dear.
Yeah. How about you? What have you watched?
We watched the first episode of Slow Horses that dropped.
Yes.
Are you saving all of this until it's all done and watch it all together?
Lisa's comment was, we're going to wait for every single, I'm not waiting week by week on this. Nope. We're going to hold them all until they're all out.
I watched it with rapt attention, and it was great. Amy watched it semi-distracted on her phone, and she said to me actually this morning, before we watch episode 2, I need to go back and watch like the last 30 minutes of episode 1, because there was a lot going on, and I realized at some point that I didn't know what was going on, and I'm going to need to go and back that up. And I'm like, yeah, you do. You need to not watch your phone while you're watching this show, because there's a lot of stuff. Yes.
I seriously thought you were going to say, she says, I need to go back, watch the last 30 minutes. And you were going to say the episode's 32 minutes long, but yes. You got the opening scene, and then you got the Mick Jagger song, and then things get fuzzy.
Yep. Uh-huh. I'm like, where did he, oh, that's where he went from. Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I guess I don't know the foggiest. It's Slow Horses. I don't know the foggiest idea where this is going, because the last 3 seasons, I thought I was pretty sure where things were headed. Had no clue by the time it was done. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm going to watch week by week, and I'm going to give you a similar update every week.
I'm looking forward to it. Wow, that was really good. That's amazing. Ooh,
Ooh,
Eh.
you should watch. Boy, you are not going to believe. Oh, you can't wait till you get to week 4. Oh boy, oh yeah. Um, sorry, toddlers. Slow Horses, highly recommend.
Which you can get on Apple TV Plus, on Apple TV, on Apple TV.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep. Things we learned this week.
Yeah.
So, well, one of the reason we're behind in releasing was we had a family emergency this week, and Amy's Amy's father passed away, and so we are at the farm, and we are working through funeral arrangements and all of these kinds of things. And with my event planning skills, I I know the things that I can do, and there after the funeral there will be a meal, and so we're going to feed a bunch of people after the funeral. And I'm like, I can do this. This is what I do. Fantastic. We got a good recommendation for a caterer that comes highly recommended. They're available. I go to their website to try to, start. I mean, do we have a budget? No, we don't really have a budget, but let's blah blah blah. They have shredded pork. 5 sandwiches per pound. A roaster equals approximately 28 pounds. The cost is $7 per pound.
Okay, wait. Shit. Hold on. I didn't know there would be math here. Hold on. Let me grab. I don't.
Neither did I. I did not know that there were word problems associated with the post-funeral meal.
What? Okay, wait. Now, is the shredded pork headed? Is that headed east or west to you?
Wait, this is not the Only Trains podcast. What if a train leaves Apple River going 32 miles an hour, not knots? If Don Knotts leaves Scales Mound traveling 15 miles an hour, turkey or chicken and dressing, 6 sandwiches per pound. A roaster is approximately 28 pounds. However, cheesy hash browns, a roaster serves approximately 90 people, or $4 a pound at 3 servings per pound for $100. If one roaster of mashed potatoes serves 90 people, my God.
The problem here is they keep changing the units.
That exactly, right?
Right. Look. If you're telling me that that a pound is equal to 5 and 28 pounds, so take 28 times 5. Just give me the number of, generally speaking, the number of people, or give me the just raw poundage of whatever it is that I'm buying, and you figure it out. But okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break it down by number of sandwiches per pound, pounds per roaster, and then people per. Wait, what?
And one roaster serves approximately 100 people, and then you're going to pay by the pound. I'm like, so I did all of the math. I'm like, okay, here's how many, and here's how many people, and here's a blah, 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 blah. And I got on the phone and I called them up, and I started talking to them, and they said, "Yep, this is a per person. It's $7 per plate." I'm like, well, why didn't you just tell me that to begin with? Catering math. Midwest catering math. It's a thing. Who knew? That's what I learned this week. How about you? What did you learn this week?
Hard to yeah, we'll just jump into it. So last week I did my run down the canyon.
Yes.
As you may have recalled, last year doing that run down the canyon, 24 hours after finishing, I could no longer stand or sit on my own, and I couldn't walk down my driveway unassisted for 6 days. Yeah.
But PR.
Yes. Yeah, I did set my personal record. So, well, my personal record for both the quickest half marathon and also the longest time not being able to stand on your own. Both of those records, I was interested in setting one of those records again, but not one of the others. So,
Okay.
And I distinctly remember, by the way, just thank you for this. I distinctly remember we got feedback after I told that story. The following episode, Toddler 3187's feedback was, I'm listening to the podcast and I thought, oh no.
This is not going to end well, I believe were her words.
Yeah. And then she's just listening. Yeah. So with all of that in mind, this year, I went back and looked at all my splits and went like, how fast? And I went, oh yeah. Well, I see where you made your mistake there, Todd. Like this right here. Yeah. Don't do that. So new plan. Let's not do that again. So I was running slower downhill than I did before.
Okay.
However, I did shave a minute off of the last year's time.
Wow.
And I felt pretty good about that. And then for the next 36 hours, I just kept like, am I okay? Am I okay? Like a couple of times I stood up. I didn't need to. I just wanted to see if I could. Like,
well, that's because 3 weeks ago you trained on a downhill run. You did the work.
Well, trained is a strong word. I made some significant errors on a downhill run, but I put in something. Yes. So, I did feel it. Was I good? No. Was I significantly better? Yes. And of course, after you finish, you get your goodie bag. And of course, one of the things, you get your medal, you get your T-shirt, you get you get a 10% off at the massage place in town, and then you get the hey, early bird special, $10 discount, like
for next year.
And your thought is, what you should do is like send that to me a week later, maybe not right, like congratulations. Oh, I think I'm dead. Do you want to go next year? How much off? $10.
How much off?
Oh, well, that's a pretty good deal. Okay, where do I sign up?
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting downhill runner Todd Prinz, wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2. There's no G and there's no space. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office, only if it's at the bottom of the hill. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And you can send us your feedback to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
You mentioned, I think we've all had that issue. Like we go to hang something and we hang it on the wall and, we miss the stud or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never operated a large industrial drill. I've never done drilling underwater kind of thing. What I can guarantee, I know nothing about this, but I can guarantee just because we've all generally been there, is here's whatever led up to it. After the drill punched through the tunnel and the person's like, oh, it was followed with, huh, that's weird. And I'm 50% sure that was then followed by, I got to go to Home Depot. Because that's how all my projects go.
If it's plumbing, it's 3 trips to the hardware store. Without fail, plumbing is 3 trips to the hardware store. The first one, and then another one because you got the wrong size or God knows what. And then the third one, the first one is to get what you need. The second one is to get what you missed. And then the third one is to fix what you broke. Yes, that's generally how those work. Yeah. Yeah, this is a plumbing project, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Yep.
It wasn't supposed to be, but it turned into one.
Oh, If there's anything that we need to fix next week, it'll certainly be easier than fixing the hole that the guy punched in the floor. Oh, on that note, we are here. We'll be back next week. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
There's a non-zero chance that that story is going to come to your mind for reasons that you do not want within the fraternity house some point in the next 2 years.
Oh,
Hey, funny
God.
story. You remember how the guy drilled the hole through? Well, we were drilling. Oh, no.
No.
Please say that you saved the party room.
Do you know there's a drain in the floor of the party room?
Smart.
When they built the house, they just put a drain in the floor of the party room so they could just wash down the floor and out it goes. Smart guys that built the house.